Okay, so I'm doing this little test here to kind of check some things out. And what better way to test things than to be goofing around or having some fun, maybe? So, in the world of Star Wars, I guess I saw the first movie when I was about 20, I guess, 21. And it was really something to see. It kind of took us all by surprise, I guess, in a lot of ways. And many people really fell in love with it, became very attached to it. Some more than others. I had a friend that had like literally every Star Wars toy there was in his basement. Um, Never really kind of went that far, but I do have a lot of junk that really I could probably live without. But I also have this thing here that we do, which is very much kind of a I don't know whether I'd say addiction, but it's like kind of a habit, time killer, something like that. Some people played cards when I was younger. Others did this or that. Now we play these games. In this particular one here, Star Wars: The Old Republic, you get to be one of a number of different characters, and I guess you get to take your brain out and put it in a little cold glass of water, a little glass of cold water, rather there, and just kind of be a Jedi for a while, as opposed to a truck driver, computer services engineer, telephone repair person at the bank, whatever you were doing. You get to do something different. And so in these things, I've seen a lot of interesting um, uh, stories take place. And so I brought this thing up here. Let me get to this thing here real quick. Um, Look, it looks like when I brought my screen over and I changed the sizes and everything, that it kind of goofed up all of the, it goofed up all of the look on here. So I'm gonna kind of go back to what it was for in the past there. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. The screen, the imaging on the screen is really neat. And one of the cool things is you get to be wearing a lot of different cool clothes. You see all these people wandering around out here. That's my sidekick there, not here. You see all these people wandering around. Those guys standing over there, these guys right here, these guys are like those people you see on the freeway riding a motorcycle without a helmet. They're what we like refer to as non-player characters. They're not really there. They've just kind of been added so that you're not walking around in this thing all by yourself. This person here with a name above their head, that's somebody. There's another person that fell asleep. Or there's a guy who's probably home eating a sandwich or eating something else. Then you got these other people standing around. This guy's got his sidekick there with him. I don't know where that person's sidekick is. They're probably lost or maybe something like errand or something. Then you got these people, they're buying and selling some stuff. So there's just a lot of different stuff you can do. And of course your sidekick chases you around everywhere you go. All these different things in the game. So here's the deal. When you're playing these things, it can be extremely daunting, to when you first get started, because there's just a million things that you got to know. And it's not just, I'm not using the mouse to move around and do all this stuff, but, that's not a really big deal. And that's not going to make you a whole lot of money or advance your abilities, just kind of running around the old fortress here. You need to be able to do other things. And so one of the things that happens is and this is kind of the case in real life, I think, is people are they're doing all of these different things and they're trying to get a handle on them, but nobody's around to show them really what needs to be done. And that's the kind of thing that I think I could probably cover this and so many other things. So in my videos that I'm putting out, I'm trying to put forth the average guy's perspective on a lot of stuff. As you can tell, I'm not some like ultra good looking super cool guy that happens to be this James Bond of gaming or whatever. And so I think a lot of times people are limited by their own perception of themselves. In this particular case, I challenge you to perhaps maybe take a closer look at who you want to be. Like, for example, just for a moment, not to suggest any kind of neuroses or anything, but take a look at my character guy here. So this is my character, Romanticus. You might note the mild similarity. But you know, you get to be that guy. You know, you get to like change your look. Like for example, you notice how he has hair and I don't. He actually grows a beard, and I never really could do that very well either. But you know, you're in the game. I can't use the Force either, but guess what? He does. So you know, you get to do a lot of the things that you didn't or couldn't do, and so you go out and have a little fun. You know, think a little bit more about yourself. But again, running around this thing isn't going to make you any money. I'm going to come back later on and talk about some of the stuff that you can do in here. Because here's the thing, when I first got started on this, it took me a little while to get kind of an idea of what was going on. But it turns out that a lot of the stuff that you can do, you really can't find anybody to break it down in an easy mode for you. You know, break it down to a way that anybody could like just up and do it. But the reality is anybody can, you know, which is the case for so many things in this world. If you just have somebody to show you the way, you know, if you just had somebody to give you an idea of what needs to be done. And so I'm going to do that later. I don't want to make this real long, and frankly, I think it's been longer than oh, there went a guy on a vehicle. Huh? Did you see that? You know, you can get your own vehicles and stuff. It's kind of cool. Show you that real quick when I get out of here. Place and give people inventory. Isn't that neat? Or maybe you don't want to do that. So you got that wonderful. Some of these people have some amazing vehicles they ride around in. And that's a topic. Period. You take care. Have a wonderful day. As I figure out how to